Okay, today we're going to make some clips. These clips are going to be used to install a shade cloth on a half-inch PVC frame. So this is regular 3/4 inch PVC Schedule 40, and it'll clip right onto the regular uh, Schedule 40 half-inch PVC pipe frame. So what you're going to need today, I guess, are 3/4 inch Schedule 40 pipe right there. Not the thin wall, it's a regular Schedule 40. And we got some gloves, some hearing protection, eye protection, a vise, and a grinder with a cutting disc. Oh, also a saw of some sort. Uh, this one works really good. So first you need to decide what size clips you're going to make. I like to make two sizes, a smaller one and a larger one. That one was a little bit too big. So this size right here is going to work out good. I would recommend you use a stop block and make all the clips the same size. If you're making two different types, all the same size for each type, it makes the next step a lot easier when all of the clips are the same size. Since I'm just going to make a small section here, and I'm lazy, I'm not going to use a stop block and suffer through the next section. So I'm done with the larger one, and these are the smaller ones. The reason I make two sizes are the smaller clips are easier to go on, but the larger clips are much more secure. So I usually put the small clips on first, get it all squared away, and then install the larger clips. So I think I've got enough for my small section. I'm going to take all these clips to the vise and finish them up. So first thing you're going to do is secure it in the vise, and I'm going to cut off a little section. I cut out somewhere between 1/4 and 1/3. It's not the same all the time. The less you cut out, the more it grips, and of course the harder it is to put on and off. Of course, if you cut the opening too much, then it won't stay on. So if you get close to halfway, it won't clip on. It'll just fall right off. You can experiment with different amounts, but I stick to somewhere about 1/3. So here's why I said that if you use a stop block, it makes the next process easier. If all the pieces are the same size, you could probably fill up the whole clamp and cut them all at one time. If they're not all the same size, like I have, since I just eyeball the cut, you can do two at a time. It's a little unsafe if you try to do any more. If one of them is loose, like that one there, it makes it a little difficult. A natural tendency when you're cutting this is trying to make a tangent with the pipe, but you don't want to do that. You want to cut straight down. The reason for that is when you cut straight down, you naturally bevel the inside edge. That way you don't have to go by later and sand the inside down. So let's speed it up here and finish off all these here. Now here's what I meant by you cut straight down and not at a tangent. You see it's rounded on the inside, so you can easily slide it on and off without it binding. Depending on the type of fabric you have, if you have a really delicate fabric, you might want to go and sand away the inside to make sure it goes on nice and smooth. Otherwise, when you try and clip it over a piece of fabric, it'll just tear through the fabric. This is the other option here if you're lazy. Like you just kind of give it a little cut on the inside, take off the corners, and that works just as fine too. Let's just finish up the last few pieces I have. Okay, here we go. Now here's my frame. It's not that large, somewhere between 3 and 4 feet, so I didn't need that much clips. The first thing we're going to do here is put the small clips on, because it's very easy. Let's get this all squared away, and then we'll get to that. Normally I'd find the factory edge and put that on the front, but think this piece was a leftover piece, so got to use whatever we have. So we line up the front and one side edge. We start with the small clips. The reason for this is very easy to put on a small clip. When you do it, the best way to do it is to squeeze a bit of the fabric up and drop the clip on. I think when you do it yourself, you'll figure it out. Grab a little fabric, push the clip on, that way you don't fight the fabric. You want to do the opposing sides first. Get that all on so you can stretch it, and then do an adjacent side followed by its opposing sides. There we go, I got all the small clips on, so now I put the larger clips on because it holds much more securely. And all we got to do is cut away at the remaining fabric. Once we do that, I normally come and clean up the edges. Some kind of plastic, nylon, poly, some kind of material. So I don't want it to frame, so you just clean up the edges. You need to be careful with the torch because if a little heat hits the main section, it'll just punch a hole in a split second. You might want to use something like a soldering iron if you want to be much more neat at it. I just need to clean up some of the edges so we can get with the torch. Then all we have to do is twist and tighten up the fabric. You can let it rest because it stretches a little, and then come back and give it another quarter turn later. But normally I just give it a little twist and taunt up the fabric a little bit, and we're good to go. Now, PVC clips are commercially available online. I did a search for them and I found out the price, and they were quite costly. There were some on eBay and Amazon, but there's no way I could pay for that. But at least looking at the clips gives you an idea of what you can do. So that's where we came across this 3/4 inch pipe. Hope this helps. You can pretty much make clips for free now. Oh, one last clip, I guess I forgot. But that should do it. I'm gonna go put this over my lettuce and see if it helps.